My name is Basil. This video is all about the Nokia 8 and the Mate 10, the Mate 10 Pro in fact. A newly announced from Huawei, the Mate 10 Pro has a dual camera just like the Nokia 8, but a different setup. You can see it as I carry on walking. Both optically image stabilized, so they should be accounting for handshake pretty nicely. We can do a whole bunch of tests in this video, but before I start with those, not already subscribed, subscribe. It's how you stay on top of everything that we do. Right, first up, let's get close up with the focus. So you have some pretty high contrast scenarios in front of us with these berries. Which one has the closest focal range? I'm not tapping the screen at all. It looks like at this distance, which is around 4 centimeters, 5 centimeters, the Mate can carry on locking on. Bit too close for the Nokia, so the Nokia doesn't get quite as close, but pulling out, you guys can clearly see on screen, making sure they're both pinched out. It looks like the Nokia has the wider angle of view by default. So if you want to get all your friends in shot, it's going to be the Nokia all the way. Let's see how they handle a little bit of background blur. And carry on walking. The microphones on board are also pretty amazing on the Nokia. The Mate was a little bit quiet compared to the V30 in the test that I did yesterday, but let me know what they sound like alongside one another. Right, now it's time to test out the zoom. So, what should we use to test out the zoom? Something on the ground perhaps. So that little blue fleck there, gonna pinch in all the way. It's up to 6 times zoom on the Mate 10 Pro, and you can see it's quite a bit clearer than on the Nokia, at least based on what's going on screen. If I tap through again, locking on, you guys can let me know in the comments which is the better of the two, but they're around the same kind of max zoom in terms of the shot that they will actually create. Zooming out all the way. So that about wraps up the good light sample. Can swap out now to some selfie action. So how about the front cameras in these two? You can see the Mate 10 on the right hand side is way wider. I can move my face out of frame, see if either loads of background noise changes coloration, exposure for my face being in frame. Can point up at the sky, see which one better exposes for my really tired face, and back up and do a smooth pan across, and good to go. Let's try some nighttime rear camera stuff. And it's time for the last set of tests. So this is a front camera sample, selfie camera, full HD across both in really low light. I can pan around, you can see the Nokia on screen looks super red. I don't look that red, well, based on the light that's over there, it doesn't look anywhere near that red. Panning around, and again, just going by what's on screen, the Nokia doesn't expose my face and it's a bit grainier, doesn't expose my face quite as much. But let me know what the audio sounds like. Now let's flip to the rear cameras and wrap this video up. Right, so here goes nothing. Low light once again, we got a brick wall. The Nokia is really underexposing things. It's reliant upon external lighting in order to get any detail from the surrounding environment. So super low light, not that great, again based on what's going on screen, but that's based on also what we've seen. It's worth saying that this is a Nokia 8 running Android 8, so Oreo. It is a beta, but this is kind of where we were hoping things would improve, that Nokia would improve a new user interface into Android 8 and a new kind of just set up with regards to processing so that it would pull out a bit more detail in the video. There isn't even a slider that lets me drag up, drag down, etc. So while in good light it's looked really good and the microphones sounded really good in all my tests, in low light a lot of what we were shooting was virtually unusable. So if that's what you see, let me know below, and hopefully Nokia, if you're watching this, you can whack some exposure controls, maybe a slider or something. Either way, we can tap to focus and tap to expose on the brick wall, can stand back so that we can see the exact difference across the breadth of the scene, and I mean the Nokia's having trouble focusing because it's underexposing everything so much. So while yep, we should absolutely say this is beta software and you should bear that in mind on the Nokia, it's also very similar to how it performed in terms of the nuances that just make it seem like a worse nocturnal camera phone. But Like always, let me know what you think in the comments section below. Stay tuned to Be Tech for a lot more of these kinds of videos and many more. We'll be getting our Mate 10 review up this weekend, and Mate 10 Pro, and probably our Google Pixel 2 XL review as well. The Pixel 2 XL has got probably the best point and shoot camera, but is it the best camera overall? I wouldn't say so. Stay tuned this weekend to find out why. Subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks.